you now, girl.
What's going on, guys? Deathstroke here. Welcome back to another video. It has been quite some time since we've uploaded. There's just not been a lot of content going on in the game. I didn't go to the Destiny 2 reveal, so I didn't have this excessive content, plethora of stuff to put out that other people hadn't already done. So jumping right into it, in this video we are going to do a top 5 differences between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 in regarding to PvP play. Alright guys, coming in at number 5 are the weapon slot adjustments. In Destiny 1, as we all know, you have your primary, secondary, and your heavy weapon. And your primary and your secondary, both, for most years of Destiny, could be a kinetic type or a damage type, elemental damage type, arc, solar, void, etc. Well, in Destiny 2, they're changing the game completely to where your primary can only be a kinetic damage type. Your secondary is an energy damage type or elemental, as it was in Destiny 1. And your heavy slot is now a power weapon slot. All weapons such as shotguns, fusion rifles, rocket launchers, machine guns have now been added into that power slot. That's a kind of a game changer though for all of us that love sniping, and for those that love running around and slide shotgunning. It's going to take the time that you actually are able to use these weapons and reduce it drastically. You're now only going to be able to use these weapons maybe a couple times a match, depending on what map. So they only show countdown, so you don't know the spawns on every map. Maybe the spawn times will be different. Maybe if they have a mayhem game mode, you might get that way more often. But nevertheless, using a weapon that you love is kind of a big deal. Although, from a lot of the gamers that went, True Vanguard being one, said the shotgun felt just so on point that every hit seemed to be a one-hit kill. If you were pulling the trigger, someone on the other end was dying. So unlike shotguns nowadays, where unless you have a Matador 64, you're kind of pulling the trigger more than once. Even with a Matador, you're having to follow it up with a melee, which shouldn't be the case when you're up close. So I'm interested to see these changes. I personally think it's gonna take away a lot of the fun factor and the skill of being able to use something you love, such as a skilled weapon as snipers. And I think the only reason they're doing that is because of less skilled weapons such as shotguns. That's my opinion. Let me know your opinion down below. Moving on. Alright, so the next one, number 4, time to kill. Alright, so time to kill across all weapons and everything else, which we'll get into in the next numbers, I've drastically changed. So things are going to take a little bit more to kill the Guardian. I think they verged on saying that the overall health is different, but the shield system is a little different, as you can see in the Destiny 2 reveal. The interesting thing is it's all going to be, they're trying to gear the game towards gunplay. So primary and secondary gunplay. And I think that that's going to be a very, very cool aspect to this game, because people will not be able to rely on other things as much. Another cool factor is that the energy weapon, your secondary slot, with the elemental burns, are going to be more effective against supers. So your supers will burn down quicker as long as you're using one of those weapons. And apparently it does not matter which elemental type you're using. It doesn't have to match. So if you're going against a Sunbreaker, it doesn't have to be a solar. Or vice versa. So that's kind of interesting. I think that they should tune that in the future to make it make more sense. One be more powerful against the other. That way you kind of have to tailor your loadouts to who you're playing and what you're playing against. Coming in at number 3, we have melee. So melee is gonna change the game completely, especially for people that main blade dancers. So I started my class in Destiny as a warlock. It was the first one I ever picked. It's successfully my worst KD at like a 1-2 or something like that overall, as opposed to my hunter 1-6 and my titan at 1-7. It's just completely different. And a hunter it's never been OOP. I'm not going to say that because then you just get the hate. But their melee has always been broken. The melee is great. If you knew how to use fast twitch and get in there, you were lunging from like 15 feet away and stabbing someone. Well, that could be a problem when you're lunging into their front and one-hit melee. If we don't recall, they had a backstab glitch thing to where it was happening to where you would have backstab selected, which is a one hit from the back melee of the hunter, and it was glitching out and killing people from the front or from the side or from the front side diagonal angle. And that's immediately fucking just a big problem, because you're taking all the skill out of it. If I have you all the way down to where you're one shot out of pure gun skill and then you're able to one hit melee me, that is a problem. And I'm really glad that they're switching it to a 3 melee hit kill system. So you no longer can just double tap, and everything's so reliant on, does he have the fast melee gauntlets or does he have the increased grenade throw distance gauntlets. It's going to be 3 melees to be able to kill someone. And I think that's going to make it a more effective game, because people won't be so reliant on these simple kills. I was running around with hand cannon for about the last week, and the fact that you can literally go up and headshot someone or lucky round to the body, and then punch them and get a kill every time is kind of disgusting, because you shoot someone twice and then you punch them, 2 different people, and you just punch them once, dead, punch them once, dead. And the amount of double downs and triple downs I got from that nonsense is just stupid. You'll see it you saw it in the video in the beginning. So yeah, coming in at number 2 is, for most people, probably the most fucking important number we have. Alright, so number 2 is grenades. Alright, grenades have plagued the Crucible since the beginning of the Crucible and Destiny as we know it. With the tier system and the ability of the intellect, discipline, and strength, and the way it's currently set up, you have a minimum cooldown time of 25 seconds. Well, that cooldown time goes by pretty fast, and when you mate that with double grenade gauntlets on certain classes, such as Armortarium for the Titan, the Warlock when you just have double snickies, or the Shinoba's Vow for the Hunters, where you're having 2 tracking grenades, basically, it makes the game semi-intolerable when you're trying to play a game of gun skill and you're getting out-grenaded because they threw 2 grenades down the hall and it's chasing you halfway across the map. Or how many times have you walked around a hall and been stickied and then the dude runs away? He never pulled out his gun, he never fired a weapon, he never did anything. He stuck you around a corner. I've seen some crazy shit lately. Miss 5000 Watts posted a video and she was just like, it was jaw-dropping and it was hilarious because it bounced, went around, and then hit her. True Vanguard, I guess, finally got angry in Trials and stopped being so nice, because he literally had kill after kill after kill of just being stuck by grenades. He was never shot, he was just stuck, and then they run away. And I think that's dumb. I think it's a crutch, and that they need to get away from that. They need to get away from putting crutches in the games that enables people to not learn how to really play, to not learn how to use gun skill. So I can't say that they're not learning how to play, because they're learning how to play the game as it was created. But I don't think that that's how it should have been or is meant to be. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think that that a fusion grenade not killing in one hit anymore is going to be a good thing, or do you think it's going to be too much of a change for some people? I think it's going to get rid of a lot of just toxic, crappy players that aren't playing to have fun. They're not playing to show skill and have a good time. They're playing to just piss people off. So I think it's going to get rid of a lot of those players, and I'm really happy about that. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. All right, coming in at number 1, our final one for today's top 5 is ability. So your super and general, that being your ability, is gonna be down to about 1 time per match, unless you're really lucky, seeing that it is a 4v4 across all match types. Unless you're really lucky, you're not gonna have the chance to get more than 1 a game. So you're gonna have to use it more wisely, and you're really gonna have to think about what you're doing when you go in and when you engage. I think a lot of things are gonna be interesting though. The changes. So the golden gun getting 6 shots. It doesn't kill as far away from what I noticed on the streams, but still 6 shots seems kind of ridiculous, and I feel like that's going to be literally one of the first things to get nerfed, because 6 shots, you're giving them the ability to wipe out an entire team for no reason. 3 shots would have made sense if you dodge and you weave and they miss, but 6 shots, they can miss pretty much twice and kill 3 of the 4 members, and your team only have to kill 1. So I don't think that's going to fly too well in the future. I don't know if it's just addressing it because it needed to be more powerful in PvE, and it wasn't. So I do agree with that. The Striker Titan, I think that is a really cool change because until Sunbreaker came along, the Striker was a great class. If you knew how to use it, you were a god, especially with Shoulder Charge. But at the same time, it was kind of a pain in the ass because you didn't have the ability to be a roaming super. When it talks in Mayhem and other game modes like that, I always reference that Golden Ganners always have the best, because if they put on Over the Horizon, they can shoot you from pretty much across the map, and there's not a thing you can do about it. You cannot lob a hammer from across the map and have it hit the person as effective as that golden gun, because the golden gun is pretty much instantaneous versus the hammer is a lobbed motion. So with that being said, I think those changes are going to be interesting. One of the biggest things that I'm looking forward to personally is the Arc Strider subclass. So the Arc Strider, hands down, but it's by far one of the most cool looking subclasses that is coming with the change. I think that you're not going to be short-stopped as much. Something that's plagued this game for far too long. Being short-stopped mid-swipe or having to swipe 10 times to get to somebody and then you get one kill. I think that that's going to definitely help. I wish they wouldn't have made that change in the past to where every time you swipe you lose a little bit of super energy, because it just sometimes it just takes too long to get to somebody because you're short-stopping. So I think this giant staff is going to help us nip that in the bud and just kind of help the Arc Strider class out a little bit and give it a little love. Let me know what you guys think. We're going to do another top 5 either tomorrow or the next day. We're going to do another top 5, and it's going to be regarding the different subclasses and how they change, the good, the bad, what we kind of think. I did a brief at the end because I wanted to touch on more than just that tiny thing of abilities, but we're going to get more in depth with it and play some video from the thing. You'll see some video in this one of the new subclass, but yeah, tell me what you guys think. If you agree, disagree, love to hear your comments and or love to read your comments. And until next time, Deathstroke out.